Welcome to a new episode of Video Car Review, our international branch of Ausfahrt TV. Today I'm very excited because I can present you the all-new Alfa Romeo Giulia. Even so, not the sporty version, but the diesel one. However, if you're new to Ausfahrt TV, my name is Jan Gleitzmann, but I call myself Mr. Z because my English is kind of tacky. I hope you can get used to it. And our review format is a little bit different from anything else you might know. It's pretty long, up to an hour, but don't worry. Just don't worry, stay calm, because in the description text of this very video you'll find jump markers. Our videos are always structured in the same way, always the same chapter, so you can compare cars chapter-wise, which is pretty neat, I guess. Besides that, if you get bored in one chapter, you can just skip to the next one. Or if it's just too long, you don't have enough time, just watch 2 chapters today, 2 chapters tomorrow, and so on. Besides that, in the description text you find the technical specs of our test car, and as well, if we have any review, to the links of the competitors of, in this case, the Alfa Romeo Giulia. Being German has some advantages. For instance, I can film here right now next to the Nürburgring track. You know, the green hell around it and all that. Well, unfortunately, I won't make it on track today, but I'm very happy to present you the all-new Alfa Romeo Giulia today. And the Giulia had its world debut at the Frankfurt Motor Show in autumn 2015. At least in Germany, you can order her. It's a she. Yeah, it is. You can order her starting at May 2016, and it will hit the local dealers at June 2016. Giulia is a big name for Alfa Romeo. From 1962 up to 1978, they had a Giulia already, a very successful car. I love it. It's beautiful, very edgy. And by the way, it was a successor of a Giulietta, and afterwards they named the car Giulietta again, so it was just a Giulia for this couple of years. However, it sold very well, and you still see this car in Italy every once in a while. Even so, they call the car Giulia. The design should be inspired, or is supposed to be inspired, by the Giulietta Sprint from 1950. Do we have competitors? In Germany we have the premium brand competitors, of course. We got the Mercedes-Benz C-Klasse, the Audi A4 and the BMW C series. Besides that, maybe the Jaguar XE. Well, Alfa is offering the Giulia with 4 different powertrains. We got 3 diesels. They all have the same engine, 2.2 liters, with 136, 150 and 180 horses. And then we got the 1 petrol engine so far as a QV version, a 3-liter V6 with 510 horses. The petrol engine you only get with a manual 6-speed, same for the smallest diesel, while with the other 2 diesels you have the options between a manual 6-speed and an 8-speed automatic transmission. By the way, all the Alfas come with rear-wheel drive. Well, here's the heart of my test car. A 2.2 liter 4-cylinder diesel with 180 horses. It's good for maximum torque of 450 Newton meters, and you get them starting at 1750 RPM. All the torque goes to the rear axis, and I don't have to shift myself. I got the 8-speed automatic transmission in here. Allow me to give you the basic specs about our test car, the Alfa Romeo Giulia Super 180 horses diesel. It accelerates from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour or 62 miles per hour in 6.8 seconds. And the top speed is reached at 230 kilometers per hour or 143 miles per hour. The gas tank of the 2016 Alfa Romeo Giulia will take 52 liters or 13.8 US gallons. Alfa Romeo gives a fuel consumption figure of 5.3 liters for every 100 kilometers driven, or 44.3 miles per US gallons, which means that under perfect conditions you can drive up to 980 kilometers or 600 miles without stopping for fuel. CO2 emissions for the 2016 Alfa Romeo Giulia Super 2.2 diesel with 180 horses and automatic transmission should be 109 grams per kilometer according to Alfa Romeo. The Alfa Romeo Giulia has a length of 4.64 meters or 183 inches with a wheelbase of 2.82 meters or 111 inches. It is 1.44 meters high, so 57 inches, and from mirror tip to mirror tip it is 2.02 meters or 80 inches wide. For the turning circle you need at least 10.8 meters or 35.4 feet of free space. The curb weight comes in at 1,520 kilograms or 3,351 pounds. The maximum loaded weight is 2,020 kilograms or 4,453 pounds. In Germany our test car would cost around about 46,000 euros. Well, you can discuss design over and over again. You can like it or dislike it. For me, this kidney, this Alfa kidney that goes almost right down is just awesome, beautiful. I love it. I love the front really a lot, but decide yourself. Let me know maybe. However, the Alfa is offering, at least in Germany, the Giulia in 3 different trim levels, which is just part of the truth, because we got basic, super and QV. And QV is just limited for the petrol engine with its 510 horses. And the basic trim level, the smallest diesel you only get in the basis trim level, while the 180 horsepower diesel is limited to the super trim level. And only with the 150 horsepower diesel you have the choice between basic and super. What I kind of dislike about the front is that the air intakes down here are just half air intakes, because this is just numb. It's no air goes in here, just here, and the sensor is, for my taste, displaced. But as I said, you can discuss design a lot. Well, you can always discuss design. I love this license plate holder. It looks even better for the Italian cars because the license plates are a little bit smaller. However, some guy just commented on Facebook on my post that he doesn't like it. Well, I think it's pretty cool. Okay, in the basic trim level as well as with a super trim level, the Alfa Romeo Giulia comes with halogen headlights. We got the optional big xenon headlights that have LED day running light, LED turning signals and LED fog lamps. Well, our car is painted in Bianco Alfa, white. Costs a little bit extra. If you choose Rosso, Alfa means red, then you don't have to pay extra. You can pick out of 11 colors. In the basic trim level, the Giulia stands on 16-inch alloys. Our trim level should bring 17-inch alloys, but we got optional 18-inch alloys here. Costs round about 800 euros extra, at least in Germany. The brake calipers, you see, they're red, but that's not part of the trim level. No, you have to pay extra for this, but you can choose at least between red, yellow and black. And by the way, the chrome application around the windows, that's part of the trim level super. Well, baby got back, I guess. The third braking light we find down here at the end of the rear window. We got a little spoiler, pretty edgy, on top of the trunk lid, and full LED rear lights. I was running around and looking, but I think it's really full LED, no normal light bulbs in here. On the side we got the Giulia lettering, which I think is pretty sexy, but you know, my taste, don't worry. But I'm a little disappointed from the exit pipes, because what you see here is fake. There's a little exit pipe inside the big holes. Alright, let's get inside. You pull the handle out to open the door, which opens around about 80 degrees. And this little push button is meant to be when you have your key in your pocket, you can push the button to unlock the car. By the way, the mirrors are foldable or fold electrically, but that's an option. You have to pay extra for this. But the chrome dorsal panel here, a love bug. Not inside, please. The chrome dorsal panels with this Alfa Romeo lettering, that's part of the Super trim level, or the trim level Super. Well, as you see, getting in, you have to lower yourself a little bit, but getting in is pretty easy, and I don't have to lean out much to close the door. Alright, welcome inside the new, the new Giulia. I'm sitting in the new Giulia and taking you with me, checking the material. We got a soft touch over here on the dashboard and soft touch down here as well, in between some riffled plastics, hard plastics, same material you find here as well. And the lid of the gloves compartment, that's hard plastic already. And on the side, I think that's artificial leather, same for the armrest here. Down here, artificial leather. In the door panel up, soft touch, then artificial leather again, and down here, hard plastic. The roof and the A-pillar is covered with clothes. And all in all, every here and then we got alloy applications, or at least looks like alloy application. Talking about driving ergonomy, the display is facing me just a little bit, the whole center console is. We got the display up here of the infotainment system, then down here some buttons and controls for the climate control, stick shift, and here I choose the driving programs, 3 driving programs, and those controls are for the infotainment system again. A parking brake and electronic, by the way. On the right side we got the light, and next to some buttons on the steering wheel we got 2 sticks on the steering wheel, but it's just normal stuff, the turning signal and high beams. On the other side, windscreen wiper. Yeah. Space wise, I can put a fist between my head and the ceiling, and I have not even lowered the seat to the lowest point. Between the seats we have this much space, and just from the visible point we got this huge dashboard, which gives the car, or makes the car look at least spacious. But I have enough space, nothing to complain really. Okay, let's start out with the normal routine. We have no controls, we cannot adjust the height of the safety belt on my shoulder. That's the length of the safety belts. I cannot tell you much about the seats yet, because I took the car, drove maybe 800 meters, so half a mile, and since then I'm standing here and doing all the video review. But so far the seats are fine, mixed between leather and clothes. I got a little bit of side support, and all I have to do, I can only adjust them manually, scooting all the way back, scooting all the way to the front. That's the way I sit, and can lift them up and down, so adjust the height as well. And we have this little handle to flip the backrest, which I don't like. I rather have wheels here, but I'm kind of bored to repeat this over and over again. I really like a wheel better. As an option you get a seat heating, but our car is not equipped with one. Okay, the steering wheel is covered with leather, 2 different kinds of leather, by the way. It's a multifunctional steering wheel, so we got buttons on the left side to control the board computer, and on the right side to control the infotainment system. Plus, I was really behaving stupid when I jumped into the car. I was looking the start button, you know. It's on the steering wheel here. Besides that, we have shifting pedals, but they stay at their position. So when I start the engine, can, you know, rotate the steering wheel, but the pedals are still here. Okay, he's giving me some odd warning for whatever reason. I just turn it off. So push button, and here the shifting pedals. You can adjust the steering wheel, of course, manually, and that's the radius you have. Okay, looking in the mirrors, the size of the mirrors is, for my taste, a little bit too small for the size of the car. However, you see enough what's going on behind. In the inner mirror, you see the whole rear window, so that's good too. Turning my head around my shoulder, I don't really have a blind spot here. The other way around, A pillar fine, B pillar fine, and the C pillar is pretty wide, so here you have a blind spot, and make sure you control and check the mirror. We don't have a rear camera, we just got sensors, and I will do this now. On the left side we got the RPM meter going up to 6,000 RPM, while the red range starts at 4,600. And down here next to it we got the coolant temperature, and you see this little dot right there. So this will go up and up and up until it's warm, so it's made with LEDs. You can see this here pretty neatly from the control of the diesel tank. Besides that, we got the speedometer going up to 260 kilometers per hour, and the car runs 230, so I guess that's fine. In the center we got a 7.5-inch display. Up there the light is on automatic. I can turn this off if I want to. P stands for the driving program, so right now I'm parking, going in drive or manual, you know, shifting up and down, or putting the car in reverse. Besides that, on the stick of the windscreen wiper I have a push button, and I can go through different things here. While down there I see the mileage, the trip mileage, and the mileage I still have with the current diesel tank. Up there the outside temperature, and so I can switch through digital speed. Fuel consumption is always shown down here, and that's the mileage, average speed, and average fuel consumption. And if I put the car, I have 3 different driving modes down here. If I switch between A, which is an efficiency program, it's getting green, blue, and red. And once I'm in sport, I have a G-force meter. Once I'm in normal, it's just, you know, driving ergonomics. And here again as well helps you drive efficiently. That's pretty much it. On the other side we got the infotainment system with an 8.8-inch display, and I will go to navigation, so this way you can see how big it is really. That's not a part of the trim level, you know. It comes with a rather smaller screen that ends already here. So this is just a big screen. You can see it. Got radio, media, phone, navigation, and apps. Apps is like my car, shows you the tires, tire pressure, when you have to go into service, and about the oil. Navigation we got already. Well, I'll give you an idea. That's a route calculated already. If I put in another route, just to give you an idea how it looks like to put road names in here. So can go on the other side, switch and say start navigation. And so it calculates and gives me the road. The radio, we got different stations of course. And we have DAB as well as an option, but you have to pay for it extra. Here's media, my phone is not connected, and same for phone, my phone is not connected. And as you already see, I'm mirroring myself, hello, that's me, in the display. So earlier this morning when I took the car and drove it a little while, I had a little bit problems with the sun coming in and yeah, having some sort of flares on there. Okay, I cannot tell you anything about an ambient light because I haven't seen one. You can order a panoramic sunroof as an option, as a warning indicator. The indicator for the warning signal is right here in the center, so that's okay. And the horn sounds like this. On we go with a video car review compartment check. I show you all the compartments. Starting in the door panel, there is a compartment. It's pretty small. I just have this can here, and this can is not fitting in here. However, I see it's supposed to be like something like a bottle holder, but I don't have a bottle with me. And I think the bottle is not supposed to be much bigger than the can in terms of height, because otherwise you won't be able to use this anyway. And it's really small for a panel in the door. I don't know why they didn't make this bigger. Who cares? I know. Okay, down here we have a USB plug outlet, a USB outlet, and I can slide this baby here open. There's a cup holder with spacers, so my cup goes, my can goes in here and works fine. Next to it we find a cigarette lighter, and I think something which is supposed to be an ashtray. And even if I release this or take it out, I cannot put another can in here, so I just have one cup holder. I remove this as I like it tidy. Under the armrest, which I cannot move in any way, we have a little compartment. And here's another 12 volt outlet, another USB port, and the aux in hook plug. In the gloves compartment there's not too much space. It's illuminated, you can cool it down with the air condition. This is already in here and not too much more fits in here. But then it's at least covered with clothes, the whole thing is. In both sun visors we have an illuminated makeup mirror, and next to the mirror we have this little clip for tickets. We have reading lights for the driver and the passenger, and altogether both lamps with the one in the middle is the entry light. Besides that, I can turn on the lights in the rear as well from the front. And we got handles on all four doors. That's pretty much it. Alright, it's a 4-door version. I'm always curious, not only as a father, how much space do we have in the rear? Alright, due to the almost cube-like shape here, I have to nod my head a little bit and sort of fold myself into the car. But when I finally sit, I'm fine. Alright guys, I was a little bit anxious when I entered the car that I wouldn't have enough space, but look at this. I have plenty of space for my legs. I can even put my feet under the driver's seat, and it's almost completely lowered. Well, my head space is limited. I'm 180 centimeters tall, so 5'11", and I can only put a flat hand between my head and the ceiling, but I'm reaching at least the headrest. And turning my head around, I'm not touching the ceiling at once, but I'm getting close. What I dislike is that once I'm looking out of the window, I'm looking on this black stripe here instead of the window. So I really have to bend or lean forward a little bit. We got power-driven windows that fold down almost completely and that have a protection so no one is getting harmed. In the door panel I have a little compartment. My can fits in there, but nothing really else, I guess. So if you have a taller bottle, I don't think that will fit in there. On the back of the front seats I have a little net. Besides that, we have hard plastic on the back of the front seats, so even if the driver is coming back or you have a little baby, you know, here in the child seat, it's not kicking in your back but on the hard plastics. In the center we got air outlets and one USB port. We got ISOFIX hooks on both outer seats, and for both outer seats the locks of the safety belts are stable. What I dislike is that this part of the belt is really going down, almost hiding in the seat. So if you have a child seat here, the child won't be able to get the thing up, I guess. You always will have to help. And the length of the safety belt, I think it's okay for child seats, but you better check if you want to use it for baby shelves. We got reading lights for the both outer seats, and I got a handle here and there with a hook for a jacket. And just to see this, we got rear wheel drive, so I have this big block in the center. And if I'm trying to sit in the middle, my upper legs are covering parts of the seat cushions of both outer seats, so I don't see 3 grown-ups my size in here. Before we check out the trunk, I show you the key. It's a plastic key with some alloy application. On the rear side we got the Alfa badge or the Alfa logo in black and white, or black and silver rather. On the front side, 3 buttons: unlock, lock and open the trunk. You have to push twice, and a little Alfa Romeo badge as well, or the logo, or the lettering. If you lock the car and press twice for the trunk, nothing is happening, so you have to unlock the car and then you can open the trunk with a key or a push button next to the steering wheel. And it's not an automatic lid, it's just, you know, the spring feather just makes it jump. Okay, we got space for 480 liters, so 17 cubic feet in here. And my mighty tripod case even fits in here, so I'm pretty happy with the trunk. That's how the empty trunk looks like, and I'm very sorry for the lightning. But actually it's pretty simple structured. On the left side we have a little compartment. Here's my measuring tape. And on this side, can open this, is just the battery. Come on. Okay, wrong. So here you see the battery, and I can try to lock this. I'm having such a hard time with this baby, I don't know why. And below here we have a tiny compartment just for the first aid kit, while the warning triangle is here in the lid itself. Okay, and that's pretty much it. Now I'm using my measuring tape to give you an idea. Down here we have the smallest point in terms of width. It's just 68 centimeters, while up here between the wheel arches it is 97 centimeters, which is 38 inches. And again, I forgot, 67 centimeters is 26 inches. Back here we have a height of 36 centimeters, so 14 inches. And in most of parts of the trunk we have a height of 46 centimeters, so 18 inches. And it's 95 centimeters deep, so 37.5 inches. And just to make it complete, you have to lift up the girts 72 centimeters, so 28 inches. And then it goes down 14 centimeters, so 5.5 inches. You can load up to 500 kilograms or 1,102 pounds inside the Alfa Giulia, and of which you can store up to 50 kilograms on the roof, so 110 pounds. You can install a hook for trailers and pull trailers up to a weight of 1.6 metric tons if they have their own braking system. Okay, let me share my driving impressions with you. First of all, I have to say my driving impressions are based on less than 100 kilometers that I drove around here, the Nürburgring area, most likely on country roads. However, since I drive a lot of cars, I hope my driving impression, first impression is always the best impression. I have to say I'm a little bit disappointed overall because, well, from my past I know Alfa as very sporty cars, and the Alfa DNA is a sporty DNA, and the car looks very sporty, at least to me. And so it starts out with the seats. I told you earlier, I couldn't judge the seats yet. Now I know they don't have too much side support. When I do the cornerings here on the tight country roads, I slip with my upper body out of the seat. Not as much, of course, but I do, and the seats really could give me much more side support. Especially if I'm selling a car with a sporty DNA, I expect sporty seats, or more sporty seats. They're not uncomfortable, not at all, but they're not sporty enough, or don't give enough side support. Besides that, the suspension is rather comfortable. It could, for my taste, it could be a little bit stiffer in terms of having a little more sporty suspension setup in general. It's not too bad, you still can go fast through corners, but it would help the car, I think, to have a little bit more or a little bit stiffer setup. At least I would say that I would accept having a little bit less comfortable in terms of a little bit more sporty. The engine, we got 180 diesel horses, and well, I don't know, it's like now 50 going in sport, accelerating 40, 60, 80. Now I'm done because I cannot accelerate more. So we get 3 different driving programs. D and A. D is for dynamic, N is for normal, and A is for driving very efficiently. So if you want to have fun, you go in D, and you feel that the steering is getting more direct. It's a rather normal steering in normal, so it's not very exciting. But once you put it in D, it gets look in Erlkönig. Well, you see a bunch of them here. Once you put it in D, it gets more direct and supports your sporty driving and gives you a little bit more fun on the roads. Plus, if you put the car in D, you hear that it's revving higher before it shifts, so the automatic waits a little bit. And yeah. But overall, the whole setup, I would have expected more. And I think it's due to the sporty DNA and the sporty look of the car that I thought it would drive a little bit more sporty, or the engine would have a little bit more, more fun to give. So here's a speed limit of 50 kilometers per hour on the street. because a lot of petrol heads are in this area and the police doesn't want them to wreck their cars all the time. And here we have some curves, but it would be interesting. I mean, even on the Spanish country roads I was allowed to drive 90. Yeah. Okay, so I told you about the suspension. Could be a little bit more, or could be a little bit stiffer. It's okay. Steering is fine. The brakes work fine with the car. We got a little bit more than 300 millimeters diameter in the front, a little bit less in the rear. And, well, you know, they slow down the car, that's fine. The 8-speed automatic transmission shifts fine, seamless, unless you put it in DNA and really revs the car, really give some rev, then you sort of feel it shifting. I'm not too much a fan of the shifting pedals here. They stay on this position, they're not you know, moving with the steering wheel. And well, I'm not used to this and I don't like it too much. And but you know, once you push the pedal it shifts, so that's fast and quick and no delays. Besides that, if you prefer shifting with a handle, you can push it to the left and then up and down to shift the gears. And while cornering, you sort of feel that suspension, I'm sorry, could be, you know, just a little bit stiffer to help you stay, I don't know, a little bit better on the road. Wind noises, by the way, start around about 100 kilometers per hour. At 120 they get a little bit louder. I didn't drive much faster than 140. Between 120 and 140 you don't hear a big difference. Driving the car with more than 2000 RPM, you hear the engine, and it's not a cool sporty sound, it's rather the diesel engine. So this is below 2000, and going faster than, or having more than 3000, it gets a little bit louder. So now we don't have a speed limit. I can drive up to 100 kilometers, but I have traffic ahead, sadly. What else do we have? Steering, shifting, brakes, suspension. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So summing it all up, I think really that's the point what I said at the beginning. I'm a little bit disappointed because everything is screaming, like Alfa is screaming to me, yeah, I'm sporty, give it to me, give it to me. And then you start driving and it's yeah, it's just a diesel mid-class sedan with not behaving so as sporty as you would expected it. Okay, I don't know if you see it, but if you look at my upper body now, I'm going now around about 100 kilometers per hour and have some curves ahead of me. And you see how my body is sort of pressing against the side support, and right here it's leaving. It's not enough side support for me. Well, awesome. Last two curves and I get a truck. Never mind. I forgot to mention, since I didn't drive too much, I'm just looking at the board computer saying 600 kilometers, which is an average speed of 72 kilometers per hour, results in an average fuel consumption of 7.1 liters. And since I drove the car now around about 100 kilometers and it didn't change too much, I think that's a pretty good value you can calculate with. Talking about assist systems, we have a camera in the front that is providing a front assist, so you don't, you know, It helps you stopping in front of pedestrians, and it's scanning the roads for lines, so you have a lane assist, but it's not an active one. It's not steering itself. It just gives you a noise. Oh no, it's not working. As an option, you get a blind spot warner, which is not included in our car, so I can't tell you much about it. We have a cruise control, but it's just a simple one, so not an adaptive one. And I'm fine with the infotainment system. I think it's pretty cool. It's okay, at least. And the speakers are pretty awesome. Not pretty awesome, it's stupid. They're okay. They're a little bit more than okay. You can hear music even loud without it's getting nasty in any way, so speakers are fine. Infotainment is okay. Alright guys, that's it from my review. I'm closing it up, summing it up. Fuel consumption, I start with this one. The guys and me drove together 600 kilometers here, got an average fuel consumption of 7.1 liter, and it seems to be a pretty realistic value because the number didn't change while I was driving the car. It didn't change much. Driving fun, you know, I have always the 3 points I'm judging. Driving fun, I'm still disappointed. I think they could have made the car from the whole setup way more sporty. Seats and the suspension. Then I would probably have complained about it being also sporty and stiff, you know. They could have made it a little bit more comfortable. But on the other hand, then I would have ended with, well, but it's an Alfa, and an Alfa is supposed to be sporty. So this way, I think the compromise they went is a little bit too weak for me, but it's just personal taste. So driving fun is rather some to the middle. Comfort, yes, the seats are comfortable, the suspension is fine, it's not like, you know, not like an S-Class, but it's comfortable at least. And usage as a daily driver, you can carry 4 grown-ups in here and luggage worth of 480 liters. So I think as a daily driver, it's quite fine. And so I like the Giulia so far. I like the inside, the outside. I would love to drive the gasoline engine with the 510 horses. So that is probably way more sporty than this normal diesel sedan here. Okay, if you liked my review, please give me a thumb up. If you haven't done so, subscribe maybe. We do a lot of those reviews. And if you have any questions, put them below in the comments field, please. If you want to tell me anything, go down in the comments field. Comment. I'm not answering every comment by now, but at least I'm reading every comment. So be aware, if you want to leave me something, I will read it. And yeah, I'm doing the short version today. I hope you tune back in next time when it's again video car review. My name is Mr. Z. I'm saying so long and goodbye.